Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Okay, a couple of things, some feedback I got from you guys. One, I got one of you guys saying that I need to get a new microphone, and I will 100% get that if this channel grows, because I cannot afford, I'm a CFI, I cannot afford a brand new microphone. But if this channel takes off, I will definitely invest in it. Secondly, I'm not planning on making this channel like an accident investigation channel. That's not for me to do. That is like Blanco Illyrio is the magician at that. I'm not even going to pretend like I can analyze accidents like he can. So yeah, this channel is just for fun. I just want you guys to come here, learn some stuff, and take away some lessons from this channel. Okay. I came across this video. It's from Basic 411, 80 knot gusts and severe turbulence in a Piper Warrior. Let me just start off by saying that I am not trying to like bash on this guy at all, because this was 6 years ago. This bro's probably an airline pilot now at this point, to be honest. But I do find it funny how this was reported and kind of like his demeanor during it. So we'll just watch it a little bit. Like I said, I'm not ragging on this guy. I've been in this type of turbulence before. In fact, that's like half of my aviation experiences have been in turbulence because I fly through the mountains. So I'm used to this. But this guy looks coastal, and I just kind of find it funny, like when coastal guys get turbulence that's like strong, it's just jolts them. Whereas like I'm not a mountain pilot by any means, but when we get this turbulence, it's pretty normal, like just getting rocked for 3 hours at a time. So let's go ahead and watch this video.
Flight watch, Cherokee 82580 over Point Doom with pilot report. Updraft. Flight watch, Cherokee 82580, I've got a flight watch.
November 82580, Los Angeles Flight Watch. Say your present position and altitude, please.
2,500 feet over Point Doom, and we have moderate to severe turbulence. 16 miles to the west of Santa Monica VOR.
So let me just stop this video right here, and you can kind of get the vibe of this through the comments, but this is not severe turbulence. And somebody posts a definition of severe turbulence. Severe turbulence causes large and abrupt changes in altitude and or attitude, and usually large variations of indicated airspeed. The airplane may be momentarily out of control. Okay, occupants of the airplane will be forced violently against their seatbelts. And there's actually some numbers that go along with the definition of severe turbulence. Let me see if we can find it. And this guy right here says it perfectly. Severe turbulence is defined as momentary loss of control. If a Cessna is in severe turbulence, bro is probably dead. Not really, but he's getting absolutely like, imagine that, a Cessna in severe turbulence. I mean, you're up and down 1,500 feet at a time. You're just getting like, you almost have no control over the flight controls at that point. This looks like it's moderate at best. I would say this is light turbulence. Okay, chances are this guy's like kind of spooked right now. You can hear the adrenaline in his voice, because when you are flying in turbulence like this, even light turbulence in a Cessna, like, you're getting your world rocked. Okay, you are banking 5-10 degrees this way. You feel like you have no control. It's really spooky. Like, it really puts the mortality in you. It'll take the atheist out of you real quick once you hit light turbulence. Especially if it's like a really strong headwind and you feel like you're not moving. It's spooky. So I don't blame this guy for being kind of freaked out a little bit. But this is by no means, I would say, by no means moderate or severe.
Number 82580, 15 west of Santa Monica. Moderate to severe turbulence. Say the aircraft type.
It's a Piper Cherokee Warrior 2, 2 souls on board. White with blue trim.
And November 82580, Los Angeles Flight Watch, roger, pilot weather report, 2,500 feet, a P-1 up Cherokee, 15 west, moderate to severe turbulence, Santa Monica, altimeter 3014, we do have AIRMET Tango. Do you have any further reports?
So I like how the controller at this point makes a point, and he goes, well, we do have AIRMET Tango. And if you guys don't know what an AIRMET is, AIRMET Tango is for turbulence. So basically, they are letting people know that in this area there are certain phenomenon that's happening. So AIRMET Zulu is icing, All right. AIRMET Tango is turbulence, and then AIRMET Sierra is IFR, so like mountain obscuration. So the controller comes back and he says, we are in AIRMET Tango. All right, so that's moderate turbulence. So moderate turbulence, sustained surface winds of 30 knots or more at a time. Okay, so the controller is basically saying, yeah, we know, like politely, very politely. I will add.
Contact flight watch 122.0.
Thank you. Alright, Santa Monica Tower, Cherokee 8258 Sierra, just a few miles east of Point Doom, climbing through 3,000 feet. I think we're getting...
Yeah, so he definitely has adrenaline in his system. You could tell by this is something I notice in my students who are freaked out or they have a scary moment or whatever. It happens to everyone. It happens to me as an instructor still. But if you look at his hands, you can tell he's shaking. So he's definitely spooked. So that's a human factor to consider in this too. Is that this guy is scared, and there's nothing wrong with that.
East of Point Doom, climbing through
Right
3,000 feet. I think we're getting pushed into Bravo. Just wanted to let you know we are in moderate to severe turbulence over here.
I also wonder, like, I'm not saying that these guys are doing this, but I have noticed that I've been flying with students, and let's say my student's name is like John or something. I will be like, all right, John, it's pretty bumpy out here. Go ahead and let go of the flight controls. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and let go of the flight controls. And then they let go of the flight controls, and then all of a sudden, all the turbulence is gone. And it was just pilot-induced turbulence the entire time. So I'll make a joke. I'm like, that was called John-induced turbulence, and you're the one who's sitting there like this because you want to control so bad. These planes, Pipers and Cessnas, especially Cessnas, are incredibly stable. You can almost relieve some of the turbulence that you're experiencing by simply loosening up on the flight controls. The amount of times I've been flying with a student, I'm like, oh, God, it's bumpy out here. It wasn't bumpy like this last block. And then I'm like, let go of the flight controls. They let go, and it's like the smoothest air you can possibly imagine. All right, so I'm not saying that's happening here. I'm just saying, like, I have noticed that in new students.
Inbound with uniform for landing.
Cherokee 258 Sierra, Santa Monica Tower, make right traffic runway 21.
Right traffic for 21, 8258 Sierra, and just let everybody know, do not come over here.
258 Sierra, well, thank you.
Yeah, it was really bad about 10 minutes ago.
I was picking up over there too.
Yeah, so someone else comes online and they're like, it's really bad. So yeah, like for a small little Piper or a Cessna, like this sucks. But for your average like giant plane, this is going to be almost no effect on them. They're going to feel it, but not nearly as much as you. But anyways, okay, so I guess the takeaway from the situation is, what do? Loosen up on the flight controls. Okay, you don't need to over control it. You can generally maintain, a very light grip. Just let the plane do its thing. Okay, it's going to want to stabilize. That's not to say you're not going to put any inputs. Secondly is watch that power. So if you're flying through conditions like this with high power, that's going to make the turbulence a little bit harder to control. My point is that you don't want to exceed that maneuvering speed. Okay, so maneuvering speed in the Cessna is 105. So whenever we encounter light to moderate turbulence, I just tell my student, pull the power back, get below 105 knots. All right, so control that and just chill, just ride the waves. Imagine yourself on a boat and you're just in waves, okay? So just go with it, because the more you fight it, the more you try to control it and beat the wind and the turbulence, the more stressed out you're going to get, the more over control you're going to have on the plane. And your arm's going to get tired, your forearm's going to get tired because you're death gripping it. Okay, so just roll with it. All right, this is something that I remember experiencing when I was going from Ontario, Oregon to Twin Falls, and I was in turbulence the entire time. And I was a brand new student, maybe 40, 50 hours in, and I was exhausted by the end of that flight because I had so much like just cortisol in my system, So anyways, guys, I will see you for the next video. I just thought this was an interesting video to kind of like break down. Later.